Duana the re-road block. Re-road block. So on the drive for Balangi, yeah.
I mean, from Kumba.
From okay.
People from Kumba.
Me, the motor the start pack sona from where?
Banga, yeah.
Go Banga.
Banga transport movement.
Okay.
Banga
Merde. Yeah.
as you just said already.
It add no. Duana the re-road block. Re-road block. So on the drive for Balangi, yeah.
I mean, from Kumba.
From okay.
People from Kumba.
Me, the motor the start pack sona from where?
Banga, yeah.
Go Banga.
Banga transport movement.
Okay. Merde. Yeah.
As you just said already.
It add no. Wow.
Good day, fellow Ambazonians, and good evening to most of to our people across the Ambazonian territory, and for all of for those in North America. Good afternoon to all of you. It's a very dramatic day for La République du Cameroun. Mr. Biya has blinked. The Cameroon military has buckled. Ambazonia has secured one more victory. In a twist of event, leaders must act on principles enshrined in core values. On the twist of political events, a leader must remain focused on the objective, on the mission, on the purpose, on the assignment, on the promise. Emotions can have a devastating impact on the decision-making process of leadership. The Ambazonian people, through our collective defiance, we have prevailed once more over Cameroon. The death of the Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang, has had many and multiple interpretations and meanings to many people. For us, it is the ultimate sacrifice of a hero and of a nationalist. Cameroun and Mr. Biya, they don't know what international law is. They don't respect international laws. They don't respect their own laws. They don't respect international conventions and covenants. Mr. Biya wanted to use the mortal remains of the Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces as a war trophy. The drunkards called the bees were instructed by Mr. Biya, by Diongute, by the general of the Cameroun military, Buba, by the colonial governor of the Savannah states, Lele l'Afrique, to use the mortal remains of General Efang to do what they've always done, to play a psychological warfare and induce trauma on the population. We know their intent, we know their motives, and we know their thinking system. What the Ambazonia Governing Council decided to do is not only reverse psychology, but is to teach Mr. Biya a lesson in the 21st century. You don't joke with an intelligent people. You don't joke with a smart people. You don't joke with a sophisticated people. You don't joke with Ambazonians. You can play your little politics with other Ambazonian movements, not with the Ambazonia Governing Council, not with the Ambazonia Defense Forces. We decided to play 10 steps ahead of Mr. Biya. They wanted to use the mortal remains of General Efang as a war trophy. Take it back to Guzang and to tell the people of Guzang and the people of Momo that you have defeated the ADF and Cameroun has prevailed. We informed our forces. La République and Mr. Biya cannot use the mortal remains of the Supreme Commander as a war trophy. It will be a disaster for them. It will be game over. They can't play that PR game with the egg of sea. They can't play that PR game with the ADF. They can't play that PR game in Momo. We set boundaries. We inform all international relevant institutions and agencies. We provided them with video evidence and photo evidence. We instructed our forces not to touch the remains of the general. Let Mr. Biya go back to Guzang and collect his shame. Let the bees, let the 15 armor cars that traveled from Bamenda to Guzang go back to Guzang and collect the body. We were firm. That's how you beat the enemy. That's how you transform the enemy. That's how you change the culture, the behavior, the attitude, the stinking attitude of the enemy. That's what we've done. Our forces let the body remain there. The population, the traditional authorities didn't go near. We closed the market. We shut down Guzang to tell Cameroun the Ambazonia is in charge and the game is over. 5 days later, the humiliated bees, the disgraced bees, took 5 more armor cars, drove from Bamenda back to Guzang to pick up what they left behind 5 days ago. This is who we are. We are the Ambazonia Governing Council. We are the ICG. We are the ADF. We are Ambazonia. This is called defiance. This is called bravery. This is called giving the enemies 10 punches. This is how it's done. You don't fuck with the ICG, and you don't fuck with the Ambazonian people. All right? This is a major victory for the Ambazonian people. When the enemy blinks, when they think they can act tough, when they recruit all their agents and they think they can celebrate, show them who you are. You will not celebrate on the blood of our patriots. You won't. We won't give you a minute of glory. There is a cost and there's a price for your presence in our territory. You will eat shit and you live in shame and humiliation. What all of you have seen today, in fact, let me put out this message. What all of you have seen today, this is what it means to be a leader. This is what it means to have a purpose. This is what it means to stand for something. You must be able to sacrifice your emotions, your feelings, the need to please tradition, culture, the need to please your opponents. You don't please your opponent at your own detriment. You must act in accordance, you must act inconsistent to what you said you want to achieve, against all odds. Today, the leader of our liberation, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, has this to say. 5 armor cars moved into Guzang and removed the body of General Ephraim. They can now follow standard procedure. Okay? What we have done, it is to teach a regime that doesn't know international laws to conform. We, the Ambazonian people, have not only emerged victorious, we have in the process changed the conduct of the enemy, transformed the devil, and give them shit to eat. The leader also sent a message to the phone. The phone of Guzang needs to make a video and apologize to the Ambazonian people, to the Ambazonia Defense Forces, to the Ambazonia Governing Council, and to the people of Guzang for his betrayal. That's the condition the Ambazonia Governing Council has set for the Guzang market to be reopened. To the Guzang people, the Ambazonia Governing Council wants to open the market. Tell the phone to make the video and make a public apology. Repentance will reopen the market. To the Cameroun occupation bees, to the Cameroun bees, you have walked on the wrong path at the wrong time, and you've touched the wrong sets of people. Burning down 1,000 villages, killing more than 20-something thousand Ambazonians, sending 750,000 to be displaced, incarcerating thousands, and making hundreds of thousands to become refugees has not changed who we are. What has changed is Cameroon's occupation in our territory has come to an end. The political occupation has come to an end. The bees cannot fight Ambazonians. Its army cannot fight Ambazonians. The gendarmes cannot fight Ambazonians. The police cannot. Cameroon doesn't have what it takes. The American tried in Vietnam. The almighty America, they tried in Vietnam. They failed. 20 years in Afghanistan with an international multi-force from 34 nations. They failed. They tried in Iraq or Iraq. They failed. They tried in Libya. They failed. They've tried in Syria. They have failed. There are lessons here for Cameroun and for Mr. Biya. You will never be able to defeat this generation. Secondly, the tactics of using corruption and bribery can only take you so far. You can be able to bribe the Agbobalas, the Fontainebleau. You can be able to do deals, as Chris Anu said, with the Chris Anus and the Sarkos. You can be able to bribe the Siko, the Namberes, the Success and Congo, the Capo Daniels. Your bribery will only take you so far. Recruiting more agents will only take you so far. They can only delay you, but they cannot rescue you. They cannot save you. There's one thing left. Get out of Ambazonia or you lose Cameroon. Pack out of Ambazonia or you will lose Cameroon. You have a choice to make. Do you want to lose Ambazonia and lose Cameroon? Or get out of Ambazonia and keep Cameroon intact? That's the only choice you have. In the last 7 years, the strategies we've put in place of making the territory ungovernable, increasing the cost of occupation, self-defense, social resistance through ghost towns, our offensive approaches on colonial authorities and administrators has rendered you bankrupt. We are in charge. As the leader said the other day, we forced you to borrow money and buy armor cars. We forced you. We forced you to buy bulletproofs for the military. The conditions we created through our strategies forced Cameroon to borrow money they don't have, use money they don't have, to buy armor cars. One of those can cost up to $500,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You are now bankrupt. Economically bankrupt, politically bankrupt. There is infighting within Cameroon. There are 4 factions fighting for who is going to take control. An average Cameroonian cannot afford a meal. Massive unemployment. And as yesterday, a Canadian political science professor from University of Calgary in Alberta, Professor Chris Roberts, said the IMF has put an end and will not give Cameroon any more money in the month of March until Cameroon gets back to the negotiation table. The Canadian government, the US, and their partners, they are taking extraordinary steps to mount additional pressure on the butchers of Yaoundé. Negotiate or your end is near. This is what you, the Ambazonian people, have been able to do. All of these are happening because of a committed, determined generation. Wa papa wa mamida. We the Ambazonian people, for the first time for Cameroon history, a generation of Ambazonians, they don't tell Paul Biya say, what he be doing with the old generation, and no go repeat itself. The games they will be playing with the old generation, they no go repeat themselves. The way with the old generation of Ambazonians they be act, where they be very fearful. This generation no go repeat those same mistakes. Over the last, an event where it don't take place for Guzang today. Now, one of the most significant battle in terms of public relations, in terms of PR, in terms of public narratives. A few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Where the Cameroon military, he torture General Efang, where they go catch him now for hospital, for operation room, arrest doctors, arrest nurses, raid the hospital, and where they get intelligence say, now for they do a operation. They enter for they carry, they go up station, they torture you, he can die for their hand. The strategy then will put them in place. It will make Cameroon not be fit for carry, he die body, go do what Cameroon military don't always do and when they kill an important Ambazonian commander or general. Cameroon not be fit for doing because we don't set them up. They know say for them for carry from Bamenda, carry go for Guzang, go put a naked body for outside, go put a dead body for outside. Maybe there are 2, 3, or 4 armor cars, collateral damage, it go there for them. They start for check sense. They should don't put 2 armor cars every night, every day, every morning for the monitor and watch the hospital because they know say ADF na ADF. They know say if they don't watch and monitor that hospital and guard that hospital 24/7, they know say ADF go enter inside there and carry the body of their general. So they mount guard for hospital with 2 armor cars for 2 weeks. Now they pepper that way Ambazonia, they teach La Republique. When we give them a bloody nose, we disgrace them, we humiliate them for 11 February. The Cameroon not be fit for live with that shame. When we tell them, say 11 February don't come to an end for the territory, and when I see our forces, they shut down Kumbo, bend down the grandstand. The woman, the way the boy use them for church, and then carry them from church, go march. Our forces go tell and say, we not tell us say we not worship God. But today, a lockdown day, a national lockdown day, make all man go house. They disrupt them. Ngala Gerald, say na again Campbell, carry bag of money from Yaoundé for go bribe the population 1,000 for buy their conscience. May they go march. Pay school fee them 1,000. May they go march. ADF said not before I watch. Boom! The whole place scatter. Even in Ngala Gerard, it start for wrong. Army start for wrong. Police start for wrong. School picking start for wrong. They know say, Amba don't bury 11 February. Cameroon not be fit for live with that disgrace. For them for change the talk. For wash their faces of shame. The one carrying now na General F and he died body. Go for Guzang. For go give their propagandist a new message. So that make Cameroon media and social media, they forget to talk about Cameroon disgrace for 11 February. So that they will change the conversation for saying now they don't carry General F and the body, they go put that for Guzang market. We say, okay, we go show now who Dr. Heba be. We go show now who ADF be. We go show now who the egg of CB. We go show now who Ambazonia be. You know, we do this nonsense. We don't always do them with other forces. You know, we do them with the ADF. We go put pepper for una shield them. Cameroon government, 2 days after the big disgrace, who kill the day of shame, 11 February, they carry General F and his body, they go put them for the Guzang market. They give a few people them 1,000, but they can't stand around them. They take pictures. We shake our head, we watch. We send a message to our forces. It's a trap. And for the community and to the traditional authorities. When I leave Paul Biya a trophy where talk say one can display am for una. When I leave am for you for the market. Make no man no touch am. Cameroun confused. Because we know them. The bees they confused. They don't lay ambush and put underground agents for the monitoring because they think say our forces they will come for can carry the body of their general and therefore they will kill more Ambazonian fighters. We understand the game. 2 days later, the body still did it. They called General F and his papa and his family. The military, the Cameroun military, B, they called General F and his family and his papa. Somebody go carry the dead body. Party then said, when I go for hospital, when I carry a soldier, we will not be fit for catching, will not be fit for fighting when they are alive. When you dey for theater, for operation room, when I get intelligence, when I go there, when I go carry for clothes, for when I wrap it for the hospital bedsheet them. When I go beat it so they die. When I don't carry, you can't keep them for market. I don't want them. When I carry them, now when I can't keep them for market now, when I carry them, the family deny. Cameroun remain in shame. Now they don't know what to do. The Human Rights Watch, they put pressure on them. International groups, they put pressure on them. Amnesty International, they demand pressure. Red Cross, they demand pressure. UN, they demand pressure. The people them for Geneva, all international organizations, they start to mount pressure on Mr. Biya, on Diongute, on Atanganji, on Buba, on the military. They say you don't create a health hazard for that community. You will talk to you be a government. You will talk to now you the occupy that land. Now you now they create dangerous health hazard for the community. They don't know what to do. Today, the Cameroun military, they don't carry 5 armor car. They go back, they go pick the dead body. Ambazonians, now what they call and say, follow man with no road. Now how you fight war this? Now how you did dismantle the occupier and render the occupier useless. Give them the kind shame where they not ever live with them. Now we Ambazonians, they dictate the conduct of Mr. Biya and La Republic. Now we dictate their conduct. Now who put them for armor cars? We. Now we Ambazonia who make La Republic go buy armor car. So now who get power? Now you wait for armor car, get power, or now the person where he put you inside armor car. Or now the person where he don't force you for the drive for armor car, get power. Power that comes from the person where he create the triggers and the conditions. Now we create the conditions, now we create the trigger, and therefore we dictate the response of the enemy. That means what they do. Now power this with the egg of Sidon create time for the Ambazonian people. Then. Now we don't make and Cameroun don't become bankrupt, right? Now we don't force them to go for IMF, World Bank, African Development Bank, for all kinds of small banks, then go to borrow money. So now we get power. Now we get that power. Because now we dictate the economic conditions of Cameroun. Mr. Biya no get power. Their military no get power. When they make all this noise, now because they control them right like remote control. We, Ambazonia, they control Cameroun with the press button and dictate how Cameroun go act, behave, and what it will do. Now we get the power because we determine the activities of the enemy. Now power that. Now power this. Now the generation this. So, waiting I don't say not happen for Guzang today. We, the Ambazonian people there, we don't put La République for a place. We don't put Paul Biya for a place. We don't tell you who will be. Now we now don't change their behaviors. We don't transform La République. They don't feel carry that, they don't feel do that, they are nonsense again. 5 armor cars. They go back, go pick up a dead body. You know what that one mean? They look and say shame of the highest order. Defeat of the highest order. Shai! Dr. Abba, the God will create you. The God will create you. And the political sense where you don't get them. Now with this as Ambazonians. Now wait to be required this for beat, defeat, and even transform the enemy. La République, based on the defeat, the only way we Cameroon get for maintain some form of narrative for out here and on the ground, now for recruit agents, bribe a lot of people. The Cameroon government, they spend a lot of money for bribery and corruption, for bribe Ambazonians. The one where they're hungry. They're hungry for money, they're hungry for fame, where they're hungry. The Cameroon government don't get a lot of meetings with a lot of Ambazonian groups, including the CDN. Recently, some meeting they take place for Canada here, and they don't pump more money into their hands. When we hear the noise, make una begin to know who said this noise they come out and what the noise be all about. The International Crisis Group, a very reputable organization where they study crisis across the globe and they make recommendations to the international community about how to resolve those crises. They don't write a report, and for one of the reports for which the international crisis, they don't recommend them for the conflicts and for Africa, where the International Crisis Group, it talks say, the African Union, it must take these conflicts them very seriously and for bring an end to the conflict and for resolve the conflict and for provide resolutions to the conflict. One of the top for that list, now the conflict between Ambazonia and Cameroun. For that report, the International Crisis Group, it tell the African Union, make for resolve this conflict an urgent priority for 2024. For inside that report, they say, because of the failure of the Cameroon government for engage in meaningful, constructive negotiations or dialogue with what they call and say Anglophones, armed groups, and political groups, because of the failure of that Cameroon government, this conflict, it grow. And the group where they call and say the Ambazonia Governing Council, the alliance we don't form with the Biafran people then, it go make the conflict go expand, it go grow, and for solving will become very difficult. So the earlier the African Union intervene for this conflict, the better for Africa. But the International Crisis Group, it talks something will be very important. Very important. Since 2019, I don't make a lot of education programs for advise the Ambazonian people. Say the Cameroun government, it don't create Amba groups within the Ambazonian territory where they hide themselves in the Ambazonian forces. Their goal now for work in favor of the Cameroun government. The Cameroun government, it don't create Ambazonian political groups. Their goal now for do things and where they will be now in favor of Cameroun government, even though they hide for call themselves Ambazonia political groups. The International Crisis Group, a report for this February 2022, it point out which have done the one now. Groups, political groups, they for inside Ambazonia liberation politics space, will be created by Cameroun, and forces the day on the ground will be created by Cameroun, and the Cameroun government it provide them with weapons. The International Crisis Group now it come out, it talk them very openly. Now not be na me at the talker. 4 years later or 5 years later, international institutions they can validate what you start for tell now for 2019. And also when we talk about these things, when I go look, I'm like, oh, because it for A of C, it be against other groups. We talk now because we get empirical evidence. Now that they tell you now, it be up to you now for know the difference. How you go know the difference? You go know the difference by the actions of the group, by the messages of the group, by their communication, by what they talk every day, by their policies. You go know these groups. So you no need for being confusion. That's just the nature of political revolutions. The opponents, they go create their own group, for mask them inside their own. And they will push policies which will be for your own detriment, for favor of the government. Make una know say, amongst we, La République government Amba political movements, the day. Una check their history, una check their policies, una check their actions, una check their messaging, una go understand. Every talk them, they talk them when they wake up every day, you hear them every day, ADF this, Ayaba this, every day, it start to give you clues. The Oxford report, the report will come out for the Oxford University for 2020. It differentiates between the nationalist movements, the one the way they be uncompromising, and the one the way they already corrupt them. It is for the Oxford report. Go read that. Not blame me. I be an educator, I be a teacher, I be a coach. My goal now for guide our people them to the right direction, to the right actions, so that we end Cameroon presence for our land and end the political manipulation and the political fraud. So that they don't use your life, my life, we're pain and we're suffering for push we back into the hands of the enemy because money don't change hands. I don't come publicly. I disclose them for now all the 3 attempts by the Cameroun government for bribe me. I don't disclose them for now. I don't even provide the names of the people they send them, including the last attempt. The government of Canada, they get a report of all the times where the Cameroon government don't try to bribe me. They don't offer me a lot of money. All right, a lot of money. Now because for place where I come out, how they born me, how they born you. Money no fit buy what people their lives. Money no fit buy what people they are suffering. If you get a conscience and a love for your people, then there should be no amount of money where any nyamfuka it can't tempt you for give up for standing on justice, for give up your love for your people, then for sell your own people, then and then you leave 8 million people, then may they remain in darkness. When the whole world, they don't open. When you don't taste the gift of freedom and the gift of dignity, you go and will help other people, then may they become free. I be young. I be full of energy. I be full of intelligence. I be full of resourcefulness. There is no amount of money with my hard work, my resourcefulness, my skills, my education, my talent, my drive. There is nothing I know if it be. I no go do them on the blood of our people. I go do them out of my own hard work and out of my own services and value where they add them to the well. I go do them through my entrepreneurship and business services. We don't dedicate our lives for liberate our people, then, for end the suffering of our communities, for places where they born me, just like most places in Ambazonia. Since the beginning of time, where people they never see light. They never drink water, clean water. What mommy, what papa them, all them, they grow, they born them in darkness, they die in darkness. Other generations don't born in darkness, die in darkness. So for some of we, it be unimaginable how a young person, it go sell fighters, sell refugees, sell prisoners, for take some small money from La République. Paul Biya go kill their people then, burn villages, burn houses, massacre hundreds, burn mommy them alive. You go back for Paul Biya, you go take Paul Biya money, then tell me who you be. You be worse than Paul Biya. How that same Paul Biya feel respect you? You see why they did run their mob every day anyhow? You see why 5 years later they did tell them different stories? Now they want to take Unaguna Kumaka. Five years later, they can't change their own names. None of this manipulation, corruption, or bribery, it will change the trajectory where we don't set this existence. They fit talk, go up, come down. They fit get a few views and likes and followers on YouTube. They fit make WhatsApp audios. The place where we don't carry Ambazonia reach, there is no going back. Cameroon is self no. So we no need for shake. We no need for worry. We go show them. We go teach them a lesson. God don't create all we for this time and space for end Cameroon presence for our land. The time don't come. We don't end the political occupation. Now that the military occupation don't remain. Paid agents no go save Cameroon. Corrupt agents, they no go save Cameroon. Compromise agents on WhatsApp and YouTube, they no go save Cameroon. Wait till we don't build up on the ground. It could permanently end Cameroon a presence for territory. Now the generation of Ayabadis, now the generation of Efangis, now the generation this. I talk for one papa today for ground. They pay their liberation tax. And the message way they leave for me. It make my heart be filled with joy. The message where papa, after they don't pay their liberation tax, it leave for me. It make my heart feel with joy. Ambazonia, they see everything will happen. They know every person on the ground. Ground zero know everybody will not be compromised. On a daily basis, they tell me. Ho-ha! Ground zero know every person. We don't get 5 heads. It talk with 5 different microphones them. Ground zero know why people they be very smart. You know if you manipulate them. Now get confident. When I be confident for place where things that go. Everything they go very good for Ambazonia. Cameroon, the monthly money where Cameroon supposed to get from IMF, the financial drip where they give them every month for survive the state, the Canada government and the international partners, they don't put a block to it. From March, no money need come out IMF for go Cameroon anymore. The end don't come. Now who will be these as Ambazonians? When I take pride for these victories, when I not live and make any paid agent, and they did them plenty. They don't create groups, tribalists, all power them. Where they hide, they work with Diongute, they don't create so many WhatsApp groups. For those WhatsApp groups, now for them for frustrate you, for make you not stand on the truth, and they not provide you with a sense of direction after 7 years. Everything with the political fraudsters, they don't create them, it don't crumble. If you did for any such group, where you dey inside, there is no sense of direction, and every day that for intoxicate you, leave those groups. Call me, we will add you for groups with a big purpose and project driven. I want to end this discussion today for telling us say, last month, we've been at January, for the beginning of the year, the first fundraiser with the Ambazonia Governing Council is doing for 3 hours, we raised $17,000. And we fund all the activities on the ground, including for fund the operations for 11 February. Right now, the Ambazonia Governing Council, they get, which they call the ICG Global on Sunday. The meeting will last for 4 hours. And one of the things we will be discussing, we review how 11 February be passed, and we already start preparation for 20th May. We talk about the International Crisis Group a report, and the revelation with the International Crisis Group, they don't talk, say they say, Ambazonian groups, the day when the Cameroon government create them, pro-government militias. We talk about all those things. Then, most importantly, now the new policy with the Ambazonia Governing Council is the one adopted. With the leader don't put them for outside for all winner. The council will be represented by more than 100 delegates from all across the globe, including Ground Zero. All these council members, they agree and they get a discussion and a debate for the proposal for impose 500,000 francs. How they call them? 500,000 francs for all the Cameroon citizens in Ambazonia. They be debate say why they not fit make now all foreigners from Ambazonia they pay the citizens tax. I mean how they call it, residence permit tax. They can boil down say this tax while foreigners they from Ambazonia, this tax for now it will be now for Cameroon citizens. They don't accept them. The overwhelming majority of the delegates and council members who they participate for the Hague of Sea Global, they talk say that the time don't come for all Cameroon citizens who they stay for Ambazonia for start to pay their residence permit tax, and it will be now 500,000 francs for 1 year. This policy, they don't take them now, they send them for the legal department for Ambazonia Governing Council for craft them, for draft them as a liberation law, and then they will send them back for the council. Then they will send them for the Council of Missions. They will go through it. The Council of Missions approve them. Then they will send them for the National Council of the Ambazonia Governing Council for adopt them into the law of as for adopt them into law. Then they will send them back for the President of Ambazonia Governing Council, the leader of our liberation, for sign them into law. So in the coming week, in the coming maybe 2 weeks, maybe the next 1 week, maybe the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, when I will hear this new policy where they come, they make when I know say they say from very soon, every Cameroonese or a Cameroonian citizen from Ambazonia, for you for stay from Ambazonia, you must pay your residence permit tax of 500,000. All right? That is to read this, that the discussion this for today. Make all una stay strong. Make una take care above all. Make una know say, what you will stand up for, what you will rise up for, what you are people they ask for, the Ambazonia Governing Council, it could deliver them for all we. And with this, we be Ambazonians, that the spirit is, we will do whatever it takes as humans, as superhumans, forget Cameroon out of our land, and so far we will succeed. May God bless una, may God keep una safe, una get faith for una movement. If you never pay a liberation tax, please do so. Pay your liberation tax and for your family. And I want to thank all our mommy them and our papa them for diaspora, our brothers and sisters for diaspora, where they did really, really pay their liberation tax and they encourage others to do the same. All right? As the leader don't talk, the liberation tax don't generate a good amount of money for the Ambazonia Governing Council. And of course, they get a budget, which will they do on a monthly basis, an operational budget for keep the flames of the resistance burning stronger. This Saturday where they come, just in the next 3 days, the Canada mission he go lead the fundraiser. Whether you did for ground zero or you did for diaspora. I call upon you for can join we, make we mobilize more resources so that we keep on intensifying the assault on the enemy until they go down on their knees. All right? We need a lot of explosives. We need a lot of IEDs. We need a lot of things that we need to buy them now. We must punish Cameroun to a point where they need to go down on their knees. All right? We must punish Cameroun to a point where Cameroun get to go down on his knees. The next few months not go easy. Join the campaign. Make we end Cameroun is suffering on our people fast. The more things that we put them on the ground, and you hear for this side, boom. You hear for that side, boom. You hear for that side, boom. You hear for that, boom. The more we shaking the ground for all corner, we must shaking ground zero for all corner. We must shaking up all corner. Cameroun must back out, and we must define the terms of surrender. Now we get the land. All right. Join me. Contact me. Make sure say, even if you do on the ground, please mobilize, contribute, pay your liberation tax, and can join me on Saturday. Make we mobilize more money for operations and for attacks and for boom. All right. Or when I get my number, or when I feel contact me, reach out to me. Even if you get a question, you get a concern, you get for place where the way on a day, if something that happen, message we, tell we, and let we. All right. We talk on tomorrow. When I get a good night. May God bless all.
Duana, the roadblock. Roadblock.
Oh. Before I go, I want to thank the forces, the Ambazonian forces, for Meme and for Fako, for the kind of bravery we they don't carry, we they don't show in the last few days. I want court cafe for the Ambazonia Defense Forces Meme Brigade, for these actions we they don't carry in the last few days, for demonstrate authority on the ground. I want to thank our forces them for Meme. I want to thank our forces them for Fako. We thank you plenty. My cafe there.